Hello and welcome to Geekatplay Studio tutorial. In this tutorial we continue to creating integrating Vue application with video production. So let's look right now what we have. I have right here just still image. It's gonna be easy as animation we done before. So for the simplicity of this tutorial, to give you idea what we're going to do, we're going to replace background scenery. We've done similar in another tutorials, but this one will going even notch up. So what we're going to do, we'll create an HDRI image to match our atmosphere lighting, and we'll try to integrate it as seamless as possible and extended grass, creating more professional, higher looking image in this case. And again, this can be done as easy for animated, but we're doing on a still just to save our time in a tutorial. So let's go ahead right now and also look how to create interesting city, more complex and more realistic looking city in this case. So let's go first, we'll go to our Photoshop and let's creating our HDRI image. One thing before we're going to import images, what you need to have it is when you go film it, your image, when you go to film video, bring with you your digital camera if you have it, or a film camera, and just have it. Also bring tripod, it does help, and put it point camera. If you cannot have it 360 degrees image, just point in the same direction so we have it the same lighting. And just go ahead and many cameras, they have it special settings. So it is called, for example, after explosion bracketing, it's in a Canon, it's where I took a picture with. And when you're going in the settings, you can go to your exposure, you select, and you can set extended, for example, this way. And when you do take pictures, it's actually take it 3 pictures take with the, you'll see +2, 0 and -2. So it will take 3 pictures which we can combine after to create our HDRI image. And HDRI image, it's image we will have it luminosity information and other one color information, and we can import after in Vue to set up correct lighting. So in this tutorials we'll look how to create HDRI and how to create realistic looking scenery in Vue, and how after we can import in After Effects. Okay, so you have your camera where you can set exposure. You take your tripod, and one of the recommendation, go ahead when you have it your video or photo done at same place, it's better if you take it pictures for your HDRI. And again, when you set on the automatic exposure bracketing, it will take 3 images, and let me show you. So you take it here, and in Photoshop to create HDRI, very easy. Go to File, Automate, and go to Merge to HDRI. So we'll go select Files. Here's our 3 files, and you notice I'll say it's take 3 of them with +2 exposure, with a 0 and -2. Okay, so we'll select all 3 of those files, click OK. Be sure attempt automatically align, we'll just leave it on. It's one reason why you want to have it on your tripod, so it's easy to realign, and also you don't have other distortions. Let's click OK. And what's happening, Photoshop will start merging them together and create HDRI. So let me shrink down so we can preview. Okay. Here's our image by merging. And one thing also, if you have some motion, like for example this was bird flying and it's just on one image, it's kind of look a little bit distorted here, like image. So it's techniques with these 3 HDRI merging, it's work mostly on the stills images and with a tripod camera. Yeah, also right here you can notice Photoshop properly identifies +2 was exposure here. Here's our original 0 and -1.97, which close to -2 here. Okay, we leave it as default. Okay, Again, other things you will notice after we'll save this one. So let's go click OK, and this will creating file for us. Okay, here is an HDRI. It's created by merging those layers. One thing, even it's look a little bit brighter here. When we start importing this and used in a view, it will look very dark, but we can adjust those settings inside the view, how our environment will affecting. So let's go file, we'll go save as, and we'll go ahead and save this as HDRI. Okay, I'll just overwrite my older files. Save, place, and that is all. So Photoshop handled very well how it can merge your images from HDRI, and we can use a JPEGs, or if you have it your camera provide RAW format, the RAW will be little bit more information, nicer to use in this case. Till we here inside Photoshop, want to do other ones, also work on some other image for that as well. And one thing, when we start creating inside the view, I want to create the city, but I want to populate and create this more realistic. So I want to use an image map for to create how the building will go and where the street goes. So I'll just go in Photoshop, just create simple grid, just take one line and multiply. And this is each black line, it will represent a road. So it's like you look from above. White squares will represent where our building will be populated. So I saved one image just like this. It's for the street coloring. Next I did it, I took some squares and I make them black. I don't want the population will be happen with the white blocks. So that in a black I want to create like green parks or some other one blocks. So something different will make a little bit nicer, interesting look in a city. And also I save those blocks by itself. This will help me to create alpha map for the material, for the park material. So we have 3 images to save it. One with the black squares, one with the black squares and lines, and one just with the lines. So here's our 3 images. Okay, when we're done saving this, we'll go inside the view, and now we start working here. So first let's go move our camera above. In other first tutorial, if you remember our previous tutorial, we'll look how to calculate what your altitude if you don't remember. If you for some reason you don't take GPS with you when you start filming, you can go to Google Map and just find the location and find what is your points was. So I'll go right here, and I'm just for now set it was 240, somewhere around that. Here we have our camera set. Oops, actually this is focus. So let me change focus. We needed altitude, and it will go on a Y. So 240. Again, I have it Y for me. It's send. Okay, let me look right here. So now where's our camera? So right, very high. And Y I said is above. If you have it Y going in a depth other direction, you can go in options, and right here in the world coordinate system you can change. So by default actually it's a Z up, and I change Y because I used to work with that application where is a Z represent depth, how far it's going. So I increase by 240. Again, in some cases you can realign your camera if you wanted to your shot, and if you remember we did is by going in a background and selecting. So again, if you want to do this, well, let's do it. Okay, so we're going to main camera, edit object, go click on backdrop, use backdrop, and go ahead load it here. Okay, it's called image 1. Click OK, again click OK one more time, and here we can go ahead by selecting our main camera, adjust right here. So also if you want to tilt your camera, you need to go ahead in options and disable always keep at the level, so it will let you a little bit rotate your camera. So if you want position, if your camera is not horizontal totally, so you can use it this keep at level. So when we adjust our position, okay, we can can go ahead and start working. One thing what I want to do here, I put it 240, but it's will take it a lot of for me more to generate image, so we'll have it. And to reduce just memory for this tutorial, because I need to run recording and other stuff, I want to drop this down, so I'll go ahead and put it this camera just a little bit below. And again, this is not to be total accurate, this is more for the preserving of the memory and save it a little bit time on the recording. So I set the here, okay, and let's go, take our, just realign a little bit better. There you go. Again, all what we do to create altitude is just sometimes to keep it scale properly, and most important, it's atmosphere settings. But again, you can realign and do other ways just fine as well that other way. Okay, so we're done here. Let's go right now to edit object again in main camera. And one thing what I want to do, it is remove actual background. The reason is why if we leave it background in and we'll work with our atmospheres, the both will be influenced, and it's kind of you won't see some atmosphere settings with a background. So we're done right here. Let's go right now first creating our actual mountains. What I want to create here up front. Oh, I'll do this. Well, no, let's go to city. I'm sorry. So right here we'll create our field for first for our city. We'll just stretch it away. This is a platform when we go ahead and start building our city over. I want to move this a little bit. Reason why, because I know I will have mountains just right here up ahead. Go ahead and increase this way. Zoom in and make it a little bit thinner. So here is our platform where we start populating city. So let's go open material editor. Okay, and next what I want to do is change this material, and the one, if you have it your own packs, it's fine. I will use it just from our material packs from our sets, that if you want it you can purchase online. For me, it just will save time when I start creating. So I create actually, you know what, I'll create green concrete first. It will have our base. Maybe just one drop the to 0 on the bumps. Also I want to add layer, and as that layer I want to go ahead and select buildings, select the dark concrete. This is will be for our roads. We can pop up them a little bit up. Now to do this roads, we'll select be sure the mapping is object parametric set. Okay, let's go switch this as well. Now we'll go to the transparency, click on this icon which is like lighting. It will bring our open function editor. Inside function editor I want to replace global transparent constant to the image, and again we'll switch to project texture mapping. Okay, so we're done right here. Let's go right now loading image to this, and one image is how I said before, where we have it, it's called roads. So because this one, it will be where our roads will going. Okay, we have it object parametric. If we even right now click OK, and you know what, let's go to render to screen to preview, and that's probably a good time to switch to white screen. Okay, click OK. You can see here on the map we have our roads already placed. Okay, so let's drop down a little bit so they won't be that bright. Okay, next I want to add additional. Okay, let's go add ecosystem at this point, and now let's go add buildings, and you can have your own models or buildings if you want it. Also with if you have a DVD, if you purchase it, will be this special pack with all materials and buildings, so you can use it. If not, you can go online and purchase this just add-on pack with this, or you can go ahead and just use it if you want it ours. So we'll go right here, and here I have it some decayed buildings I want to add. Okay, and they already texture and optimize it, so it will be easy for you to use, and I'm just adding a bunch of them. The reason why I have many, just give it me nice not repeatable looks. And you can see what is this is a very power wheel of the Vue when you start using ecosystem. So instead spending many hours, just go ahead and all these buildings located on this huge space, all what you need to do is go ahead, load them inside the Vue, inside your ecosystem. Okay, next we're going ahead to the density, and one thing what I want to do, it is enable force regular alignment, and we enable variable density, and variable density will go to edit function, and we'll say we add image right now here. So we'll go ahead, and if you remember, we have an echo map. It's a map where I want populated but without this black square, so I don't want populated inside. So we click open, click OK. So we map it to this. Also just leave it decay for now, about 5, because when we add mountains we want them kind of going around. Scaling, leave it 5, and we'll see what's going on with this. And before we actually proceed, it's actually a very good time to save. So always go ahead, file, and save this project. So I recommend save it as often you can before major update. Its application is stable, but sometimes you may have a conflict with some other running and background process or other things. So it's always very good time to save your project. Okay, also when you go save your project, just be sure you incorporate texture maps. It will help you in the future when everything is included in one. However, it will increase a little bit size of your file. So we're done here. Let's click now populate. Okay, and if we preview this image, you can see how the buildings already very nicely populated inside our map that we specified. A couple of things I want to do. I'll say I will look on the size, and I want just increase. And also let's go increase density as well. So let's go preview at this point. And sometimes what's happening when you build a bit too big, they may going over a little bit over roads in some places. We'll go ahead and reduce a little bit scaling on this. Let's go populate. Here's look very nice. So we have it clean roads, and we have it buildings look. One more thing, so you know what, let's do a couple of things. We have this alignment set this way, and I think this is actually look natural alignment. Okay, next let's go to add those parks to places. So we go ahead, select our dark concrete. What do we have? Let's rename this one. We'll call this buildings. Okay, we'll call this roads, and we'll call this city ground. Okay, and all we call city. Okay, let's go next and go ahead, add one more layer. And as a layer, you know what, you can select whatever you like it. I'll go ahead and select maybe just moss or some other anything. Okay, we'll go down a little bit, so decreasing, and again we'll go on a global transparency. Okay, so constant right here on a transparency, we'll do same things. We'll add the image node, switch this to project, and one thing, sometimes it's leaves a little bit kind of like node behind, so we'll just delete that one. Let's go load it, our image, and this is I call grass with a park located. Go open, okay, click OK, and we'll switch to object parametric, so it will match. And then if we preview, you can see now we have a very nice placement for those parks. Okay, couple of things, just tips. If you need reduce scale, don't reduce here when you use object parametric. Just go inside bumps, edit function, and you can go ahead from here you can actually reduce by using repeater less and just all other options. So this is better way to reduce, but I won't just leave it. This actually was nice kind of looking from outside. So we're done with this. Let's go click city. And other things, you can go ahead when you create some complex material, go ahead and save it so you can reuse just in case if you need it. Okay, and if you don't save it and you just save again all your application, it will also save your materials. So it's how you like to do this way. So let's go click OK. And at this point I want to stop this part of tutorial, so we'll continue in the second part.